So what is a nice guy? Well, the basic nice guy paradigm is, if I'm good, I do everything right, I self-sacrifice and make others happy, I will get my needs met without having to ask, receive all the love I've always wanted, and live a problem-free existence. Add to this the ever-failing formula. You add your then own specific dysfunctional approach, which is like staying isolated to avoid anxiety-provoking engagement with others. Others are people-pleasers out in the world, but they struggle with interpersonal interactions. Some nice guys are Boy Scouts, always demonstrating how good they are. Others are more oppositional, believing they're trying to be good while acting aggressively and even cruelly. Some nice guys are domineering arseholes at work, but meek mice around women. Some are meek everywhere. Some are passive. Some are passive-aggressive. That's what a nice guy is. But the basic list of characteristics for nice guys are self-sacrificing. They do so without being asked, in an attempt to get their needs met without actually owning them. They have difficulty making their own needs a priority. They make their partners the emotional centre of their world rather than themselves. They're calculating. They give not out of authentic generosity, but they do it to get something in return. They're indecisive because they really do have trouble knowing what they actually want. They're afraid of conflict and confrontation. They agree when they really disagree. They're wishy-washy. They have difficulty saying no, setting effective limits and holding some boundaries together. They're image conscious. They try always to look good. They desperately avoid appearing to be the bad guy or in the wrong. Handymen, they problem solve, they fix, they clean stuff up, they save things. They're lacking in self-confidence. They look to others for approval and disapproval. They are dishonest and deceptive. We lie, not compulsively, but they hide mistakes, thoughts, feelings, and behaviours that are perceived as flaws or might be by others. They say only what they think people want to hear to make, life smoother. They've got black and white thinking. They ignore the complexity and believe there is a clear right or wrong way to do or be. They cut themselves off from love. They're actually afraid of truly intimate, mutually vulnerable relationships or detached from their desire for any intimacy whatsoever. They emotionally defend. They compartmentalize. They repress their feelings and they try and push away the negative emotions. They're resentful and rageful. They hide negative reactions and seethe with resentment until they explode. They're oppositional rather than independent. They try to be the opposite of their father or their mother, a dynamic that actually plays out with friends, bosses, and lovers. They're uncomfortable with other men. They're more comfortable relating to women than men because they know what women want, or at least superficially. They become followers, not leaders. They lack vision. They don't command any respect. They're passive-aggressive. They often agree to others' wishes, then undermine the agreement by not following through or acting hurtfully. They're addictive and compulsive. They use substances and secretive habitual behaviours to avoid uncomfortable feelings, especially loneliness. They're uncomfortable with their sexuality. They use sex with partners to get love but experience it as work. Or at least they look for easy sex from porn or hookups. So I've had to take that list and I've had to take a good, hard, long look at it. I've had to examine every single one of those and take a moment to work out whether they were me and actually how much pain they were causing me. I then put them into 5 areas of my life: romantic relationships, work, friends, family, artistic and creative endeavours, and hobbies and recreation. Now, I've ticked so many of those off, it's actually scary. But you have to be brutally honest with yourself here. If you don't feel you can be, You have to ask one or two trusted people to answer them for you. Ask them, what do you see? I was given some brutal feedback yesterday. My initial reaction was to defend myself, but I didn't. I let them rip. And they were right. Everything they said about me was right. It's a path to self-awareness. And what I've noted is that because we've become this type of person, the habits and the thought processes have changed with them, and they've kind of like snuck up on us, and now we inhabit those characteristics whether we are aware of them or not. And so it's really easy to either defend yourself or have a blind spot to these problems. If you want to get where you really want to be, my friend, you must expect some uncomfortable things to happen. It has to be. Because what I and you've been doing, how you've been acting, how you've been reacting, hasn't gotten us very far, has it? So be brave. Sit, think, ask, receive. Let's go do something about it.